obviously the entire community is very bummed out, sad that we not only had missing out on one circuit, but not both. There was a lot of mud slung in both directions. Um, but what I want to know is two things. The first question would be, before this whole debacle happened and the whole statements came out and Smash Tour was canceled, you and I had a call. And on that call, you were excited to tell me about the future of the Panda Cup, and you want to know, hey, are you going? Are you excited and all that? And that was good. But during that call, like, I feel like you did express to me, your honest thoughts about how valuable it actually is to have an esports team versus, just a Nintendo partnership. And corroborating with Kadoran's statement that you thought there was no value in Melee, that was hurtful for me to hear, because I know you've been in the community for a long time. I know you've been as long as that I have. So I want to know, honest and plain right now, do you actually believe in the future of Smash? And were you willing to continue having Panda as an org or not?
So, yeah, very plainly and clearly, Melee, any belief, any not belief in Melee is entirely about content. As a content creator like yourself who is moved from Melee to Ultimate for your content, it is specifically on YouTube that I'm talking about it. It doesn't track on YouTube. And not believing in Melee is because I've invested, quite literally, millions of dollars into different projects and different things to help support the community. And the one thing that I could not get any traction on was Melee content. I will also say that scripted Melee content, I think, with fully produced sort of Melee content, I do think that has a place, and that does track well on YouTube. It's just a lot more expensive and difficult to make. But Juan, there's probably only a handful of organizations that have put as much time, effort, and money behind Melee as Panda has, entirely at my direction. We've had 2 to 3 Melee players for years. Anytime I spoke anything about disbelief of Melee, it is entirely on the YouTube content end. Melee and the future of Smash is still bright. It still can become a tier 1 esport. Again, look at the actions, right, that I took, and see how that's inconsistent with someone that would not believe in Melee. I clearly did. I clearly tried to help wherever I could. I clearly talked to everyone about different controller things, and it's different being able to sell across Melee, to sponsors and to on YouTube for content versus Melee as an esport. I very firmly believe in Melee as an esport. That's why we've had so many players. That's why we did so many things. And the conversation that we had was about a potential future where we had a content team, and it was specifically content oriented and about being more content focused overall, where we wanted to expand and work with people that were outside of just our competitive team, and be more than just that. So the conversation was 100% entirely content focused and about content alone. So does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
More or less, but it did seem on the call that, I felt like you were more concerned about, like, I guess, the profitability of Panda rather than the team itself and the players themselves. It kind of made it seem like you weren't fully committed to the long run of having the esports org. But one other, yeah, I can.
Oh, no, that was your perception. So clearly that I said things that made you feel that way. You also keep in mind there's a lot of pressure on my shoulders to make a profitable company. I don't know if you know, but the industry has been going downhill a lot. And all investors, like, the word esports is like a bad word to a lot of investors now. It turns them off instantly when you talk to them. So I was trying to keep an organization within esports, but not lose our shirts over it. And at the end of the day, stability is important. Making a stable business is important, not going under, you know?
So the last thing I'll say, because it's been a question that's on everyone's mind.
Yeah.
Did Nintendo shut down the controller or the Panda controller, or was it COVID related? And I just want full honesty on that question.
Full honesty on the question, it was a mixture of things. Nintendo did want us to go through the licensing process for it, but there was COVID-related supply chain difficulties. We did not lie about that. The demand for the controller was a lot higher than anticipated. It was, I think 12,000 controllers that were bought was ordered. So it, between that and Nintendo's request to license it before it became a final product, we decided that it was better to do that. Now the licensing process is a difficult one and a long one for the most part, and we have to make a very, very good product for that to happen. So that's one of the main reasons why it hasn't resurfaced. And also we spent the last year working on improvements that we haven't revealed yet. By we haven't, I mean Panda hasn't revealed yet. But as far as I know, Panda no longer, I don't think, can continue hardware anymore. So the controller through Panda probably won't quite happen. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Thank you, Alan.
Thanks for watching Visionaries on YouTube. For more content, please subscribe to the Overcome channel.